Not Jake. Jake's too damn young.
He's not worried about that yet.
Nah, look at him. And then he's going to complain. His bad day would be a great day for me.
I've gotten soft in my old age. My parents used to live in Western Canada. Now 30-degree weather impacts
He
me.
said it's cold. Of course, he's sitting here with 30-degree weather. They're not very smart. He's got a short sleeve shirt on. And, you know, so he's not real smart. We figured that one out.
Hey, you know, it's about fashion. I got to sacrifice my long sleeve for the fashion.
Then quit complaining about the weather.
Fashion. That's funny.
You all are good to go ahead and ask Coach questions. We are recording.
Well, Coach, what you got any kind of magic potion or something you mixed up for this week?
I'm about out of tricks, so you know. All I can say is they're competing, they're playing hard. I was trying to, you know, I always look for the bright side, and this could be the bright side maybe. We're not making shots, obviously. You can't win. I think we shot 33 and 14 the last game. We're within, you know, 5 to 10 points. Shooting that, we're 4 years ago with our best team, if we shot that, we get blown away. So we've got some things that we're doing right in that we're able to compete shooting that poorly. But I will say this, by doing that, it really makes us look, we have to get everything right now. So we've really looked at what we can do to better our defense, which we might not have seen if we were scoring. We're looking at how we're doing our pick and rolls and technique and spacing, much more careful because we're not making shots. So if we can correct all those problems and then all of a sudden start making shots, then it could be a blessing that we had a hard time for a while. Although it doesn't feel like that right now.
But you mentioned that defensive end, and you know, you look at FAU, and that was the team that came in here and sort of filled it up whenever you played them in Huntington.
Right.
Down at their place, they were kind of locked up. There was a lot of things. They had some guys make some plays a lot toward the end of the shot clock, but 26 to 27 seconds, it seemed like y'all were really good defensively on Saturday.
Well, I think we were the whole time. We held them under the averages, both overall average and three-point average, so as far as field goal percentage. But I thought we competed. I can't ask the young men to play harder, compete any harder than what they are. Now, there's some things they could do better. There's some things that they could see and execute a little bit better, pick and roll wise and defensively. But to prepare, to play through all this, keep their heads up, keep pushing forward, thinking they're going to win the next game, I can't ask any more from them. They're giving Marshall, themselves, coaching staff, our fans, all that they have. So, you know what? I can live and die with that. Certainly would like to get a win, get off a snide, and sometimes win or two. And, you know, like I said, I have a memory of a goldfish. All I remember is last one. We won that last one. Hell with what happened before that. So, you know, that's me anyway.
I know you've talked a lot about Andy Taylor and trying to get him going. However, it seems like from an efficiency standpoint, he hasn't necessarily been bad the last couple of days, but it also seems like he was a little bit more hesitant, a little bit more selective on shots and wasn't getting the number of shots that you would like to see him have within the offense as well.
No, and I'm hoping that's a process of getting efficient and then expanding out with it, you know. You know, he's had a rough start as far as shooting threes this year. And sometimes you cut back, get a few in, have a couple of good games of where your percentages are good, and then you go from 2 shots to 6, you know. I'm hoping maybe that'll be the case for him. But, you know, Andy's a good player. He's a fighter. He stays competitive the whole time. You know, I'd like to be able to tell you, I know exactly. We've done a lot of different things. We were 7-3, and I didn't feel like we were playing good enough to win the championship and get in the NCAA, which is, you know, my goal. So we started looking at different things, trying to tweak it to get better. at whatever, everything that we were doing, really. And between lineups, we tweaked our defense a little bit. We experimented with the zone some. All for naught, because I think we play better doing what we've done for years. And that is, we started going back defensively to where it's a mixture of a man and a zone together. It's kind of a hodgepodge of a defense, but kids have it down. They feel comfortable in it. And we for many years, they would always, they don't play defense. And I said, well, go look at the end of the year and see who leads the league in block shots and steals. And we'll be right 1, 2, 3, in every one of them. So we were a sneaky defensive team. People score on us because we present the ball a lot. We move it up and down where they get more times. And we play a game that is really good basketball. If you're playing good basketball, normally it leads the other team playing well too, because it's a good flow for a game. And both teams benefit from that. So so we've kind of got that down pat. And then the last thing is where do you go with your lineups, And last couple of games, we've gotten our young kids on the floor more, trying to get more out of them, because, like I said, even at the beginning of the year, we were using the older kids, and then I just didn't feel like we were playing good enough to win it all. And I don't want to play when there's no difference between winning 3 and losing the ball if you don't win it all. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to win it all, because this is a one-bid league. You got to get in the NCAA, and your play's got to be good enough to win it all. So we tweaked around a little bit, looked at defense, put in a new offense, hoping maybe I could use some of our players. It would help them a little bit, because we weren't getting it done the other way. And this past weekend just went back to players that'll play the way we play, that are willing. If they don't play the way we play now, it's because they were young and had the experience to do it. But that we felt like we could get back. It's a proven offense. If you do it right, it's fun to watch, and it's a winning type of offense. And we had gotten away from it. People kind of pulling this way or pulling that way. And so I just decided about a week ago that I'm going to play young players who haven't learned the system. I mean, if my older guys who already know the system are not pulling it off, then I'm going to go with the young ones, teach them. We'll live, they'll grow every game they get experience. But it hurts us right now, because they announced, like they're announcing the lineups, and they got the last 2 games, they go 5-year player, 5-year player, 5-year player, sophomore, freshman. We're going true senior, could be a junior by COVID, sophomore, freshman. So we've got maybe 1 or 2 years experience. They're playing at least 3 players out there that's got 5 or 6. And it's caught us a little bit. We tried to get in the portal. We lost 1 to Gonzaga, 1 to Ohio State, 1 to St. Bonaventure. And we're young compared to who we're playing in experience and in age. We're young, and it's hard. There's a big difference between a 20-year-old, 21-year-old, and a 23-year-old. Huge difference at this age. That's, not so much at my age. When you're my age, somebody 2 years younger, 2 years older is about the same. But at that age, every year, there are big developments in men up until the age 27. So it kind of slows down for you. But we're just young, got caught young, trying to convert David into a point guard that, he's never played before. I thought last game Kyle looked pretty good. The type of shot he shoots works anywhere. So that's what I like about it. We got guys that can shoot it, but you got to be wide. You have to get them open for them to get the shot, and they got to be wide open. And we weren't having that type of guard that could do that. So look at Kyle a little bit. put Tucson in. I thought he looked pretty good. He runs pretty good. Doesn't have the system down pat. And sometimes wanders into no man's land. But you know what? I think we worked with his shot. He adjusted his shot in one day and started shooting the ball better. Now, I'm not saying he won't have a relapse on every now and then, but that tells me he can learn quickly. So if we concentrate on him, getting it down to where we get our pick and rolls back, the spacing right, then we got to just take 8 players, shoot them. We'll live with the consequence. You know, you have to go ahead and play with confidence. You can't. You know, a scared shot. If you're afraid to miss it, you'll be afraid to make it. You know, it's just the way it is. So, you know, we get that and get going here. You know, I mean, hey, I'm ready for the next game. I don't care what's happening. What's behind me is behind me. We're going to play what's in front.
Coach, you mentioned, you know, trying to get in the transfer portal and things like that. It seems like CUSA has a lot of different, like, some of the guys, when I'm doing research on teams, I don't remember these guys from 1 or 2 years ago. It seems like, especially this year, every single team has sort of gone at the transfer portal, and CUSA seems really different this year.
No, it's heavy transfer. That's what I was saying. That, see, we're developing players coming through, and they have players who had experience there, you know, and that's tough. You know, it's tough for a player to outdo that, and it's tough for coaches to manage it. So and it's been different too in that we had COVID. And I haven't been out into the gyms as much. You know, I didn't get a chance to get around and see players physically. You're trying to take it off of a TV screen. And hopefully we'll get all that back to where, you know, I can get out and physically see these kids play. And that makes a difference in your selection and everything else. But, you know, it is what it is. Everybody's going through it. And, you know, I saw my boy Bayhunt down there is under 500. You know, it happens. You know, it just, you know, I think our program's moving forward. We got good kids that are graduating, be good alumni. We been very competitive. And I see down the future, down the road, got 2 good recruits coming in. We might need another one to get in. If we can get in and have a scholarship, and again, I don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the team. I thought Jared'd still be here, Jansen. So, you know, we got caught with that. And that emptied out our 5th and 6th year players. And we didn't bring anybody in with them, you know, behind them. We brought in freshmen. And that presented a problem. Caught me a little bit by surprise. Probably wouldn't have been. It's just that our 2, you know, George does well. He plays well, but he's not like a lead player. And you need the lead players to be older. And that's usually who they are anyway. And Michael Byers hasn't turned into a lead player. So our 2 older guys really aren't the leaders of the team. And Andy's a sophomore, COVID standards. Tavion's a junior, you know, so we're called on the bottom side, and most of the teams, like you said, are top side with experience because they went out and filled up with junior college and the transfer portal, which I'm going to take another look at the transfer portal at the end of this year.
When you look at Kyle, AT, Chase, those guys getting some run the other night, then coming into a week whenever you can go on film and say, okay, see this, you know, you all can break down the film and then see their progression on Thursday and Saturday. How big is that 1 to 2 days in between your games in which you all can go with freshmen to film to really help them develop and get them ready for a weekend set here at home?
Well, you know, experience is a funny thing. You have to have it, but then eventually experience, it doesn't give you as much as everybody becomes experienced, if that means. Every game we play, our kids get closer to the experienced guys because they're not going any further. These guys are growing into it, and they're staying up there. So every game we play, they'll get experience and they'll be better and catch up. They'll catch up quick because we're athletic and they can do some things. And, you know, Wyatt, our best, you know, who was playing the best at the beginning of the year, recruit-wise, sitting out because he got hurt. And he was a shooter, an outside shooter that really turned out we really needed. But again, it is what it is. I can sit here and talk about a lot of things, but we've got to get our players experienced, and then we got to go out and find players. We need really a player, one that's ready to play next year, not one we're developing. And if we can find that, then regardless, we'll be about better than we are, but we'll probably lose Tavion, which will hurt. That's a big loss. But we got a lot of potential here, so